There was people that it's really good in Iaido and some people that is not so good in Iaido. It's normal. This is the life normal. Some people decided to stop practice because it's too much pressure, too much everything. And he said that the problem is not the pressure, but the problem is that you don't like more the practice. You don't enjoy going to the dojo, to come in the dojo and practice with us. Practice in the Iaido dojo is one of the most exciting moments in my budo life. The first time was really impossible to describe because when I started the door of the dojo, my heart was really excited.
Hey guys, welcome to another episode of the Tokushikai Inside Look podcast. Today we're speaking with Claudio Zanoni from Turin, Italy. Zanoni Sensei has been training for over 23 years, during which time he's placed first as an individual and in a team, an incredible 15 times in both the Italian National Championships and the European Championships, winning both tournaments last year in the 6th Dan category. Zanoni Sensei now holds the rank of Renshi Nanadan in Iaido and Sandan in Jodo, and was recently appointed technical director for the development of the Italian national team. In this wide-ranging conversation, we talk about how competition can change your mindset towards practice. We talk about the importance of mentors and peers that motivate and inspire us, and discuss what it takes to persevere in budo over the long run. I was a little nervous preparing for this conversation with Zanoni Sensei, as I've only had his reputation for success to go on, but his sincere and humble tone quickly put me at ease. Even with over 2 decades in the art, his passion and commitment to Iaido and the community feels fresh and uplifting. A true inspiration. So without further ado, please enjoy this Inside Look conversation with Claudio Zanoni.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Claudio Zanoni. I am 57 years old and I was born in Turin, city in the north of Italy, where I still live today. I'm a logistic manager and I have been doing Iaido from 23 years and starting Jodo for 15 years ago, but I have a big stop in midway because I concentrated my study in Iaido. But now I start very seriously to study and try to improve my Jodo. So next year, when we can do exam all together, probably I try my 4th Dan examination in the Jodo. When I was young, I practiced many sports, many Occidental sports. So I play football, rugby, and volleyball. But I never tried to some martial arts. I start to study martial arts just for spend some time with my daughter that start to study judo. And I start to go with she to study judo. For 1 year, I tried to practice judo. After that, I work in a little company and I have a good friend, Marco, and my colleague and good friend. He practiced Aikido and said me, why we don't go to see Iaido? And I'm really surprised because I never heard something about Iaido. I don't know the Japanese martial arts, only, of course, judo karate that is really famous also in Italy. And I asked him, what is Iaido? And he said me, some kind of martial arts with the swords. Okay, why not? So we go to the Turin Gymnastics Center, which is the dojo more near my house. In Turin, we have, in that time, we have 2 dojo, one very close to my house, one little bit more distance, far away. So we go together and we watch one lesson, and I was really interested in the lesson. The akama, the gi, the swords, in the real martial atmosphere that you can feel in that dojo was really interesting for me. So I decided next week go in the dojo and to do the one try lesson. So for that time, I never stopped to go in dojo and I never stopped to practice Iaido. So this is a little bit how I start my Iaido life.
So I was wondering, Iaido is relatively slow, I guess. And you said you've played football, rugby, volleyball. Those are very active and team-oriented sports. Could you talk about what did you like about those and what did you like about Iaido? And are there any similarities between those seemingly very different sports?
It's really difficult for me explaining. I play football for a lot of years, of course. In Italy, it's the national sports, and I was a good player. Some teams ask me to play. I never play with a professional, but for a good team, ask me to play with them. I was and I am really a competitor. So for me, the competition is in the past more than now, but was really important. And this competition I feel and I reach in football, in rugby, and in volleyball. So play and make a win or lose, it's very, very important for my sport life. When I started to do Iaido, it's completely different because I never, of course, I don't know if there is competition or something. Iaido, when the first teacher that I have, Paolo Grosso, tried to explain in me what means Iaido, you have to think that I don't know anything about Iaido or some Japanese martial arts with the arms. So he tried to explain to me and said me, he can help you for your mind, your calmness, tranquility, and grow your spirits. So I said, why? I don't feel something like that. The other sports was a sports of team, of course. So we play with other people. In the Iaido, I think that most things is inside you. So you are alone in the dojo. What was I thinking in the past? So I said, okay, why not? Try and we see. And I discovered a world completely different at European sport. And I discovered really dimension that was completely different. So this is after 1 year, I completely changed my idea in the sports. It's really a big step for me in that time.
Yeah, I think I've heard a few people already mention that while Iaido, you practice it by yourself, there is a lot of other group aspect, community aspect, family aspect to it. So that is similar to these European sports. In terms of the competition aspect, I know that at this point you probably aren't competing as much as a Nanadan in Iaido. Do you still feel that as part of you? And how do you get that out? How do you get that competitive spirit? How do you nourish that?
Yes, the competition is a part of me. It's a part of my life. Okay, and I started to competition in Iaido, I think, after 1 year and a half. It was very funny because in that time we speak about 1999, so 21 years ago. The competition in Italy, there was the competition in Italy. So someone asked me about there is the possibility to make competition in Iaido. And I said, what, in Iaido competition? What means? So my teacher explained to me that there was a competition for the kata, etc., etc. And said me, probably there will be one championship in England. He said, oh, wow, I think it can be really interesting. So I asked someone in Italy, the situation in Italy at that time was very strange because the community of Iaido was just born a lot of years before. So there is not so many people that practice Iaido. So I tried to ask and someone said me, okay, you can go without problem. What was funny? It was funny that there is no organization, there is no question, and I keep my family and I start my trip with a camper and go to Brighton. It was 2,000 kilometers from Turin, more or less. So I go over the Europe and go in England. A new completely world for me. I meet for the first time students like Jacobson, like Louis Vitalis, like a lot of sensei. And the most important things I know for the first time, the one Japanese sensei. One of the more impression in my mind was Ishido Sensei. So I stay for the day of the seminar. In that time, I don't speak English, so little, very, very low level. But at that time, my level was much, much lower than now. So for me, it was really, really hard to understand something, or to understand the people, everything. But of course, when you practice, understand the extrusion of the practice is more simple, because as I say, show you everything was really perfect. So I do the seminar, and the day after I will go to the competition. I remember that I lost my tooth match. So in 6 minutes, my competition was finished. So 2,000 kilometers from to go to Brighton, and in 6 minutes, everything was finished. From that time, I think was a really important experience for me, because I can see what means Iaido, really what means Iaido. I'm repeat, in Italy, there will be probably 50 people that practice Iaido. So very, very little community. And these 50 people more or less don't exchange each other. Okay, there is a very little group in Turin, little group in Milan. So it's very hard to know the other people that practice Iaido. This trip opened a new world, and I decided that I want to study this type of Iaido. So I understand that Iaido was not alone martial arts, but is a group martial arts, because you need the other people. You need to exchange the experience, your practice, everything with other people. And from that, I don't know if I make, but I participate to 20 European Championship. So every year I participate to the European Championship. That was, for me, the European people was a little family. I have good friends also, for if I don't speak English very well, but I try to drink beer with them, and after 2 beer everything is more simple. Speak and stay together is more simple. And I have really a lot of friends in Europe after 20 years. Very, 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 very happy that I start to my experience in Iaido in Brighton. Also, if I lose my my competition without story, okay. But it's a really, really important moment for my growth, I think.
Once you have this connection with people, it makes sense that you would do what it takes to meet up with them again in these annual competitions. But I need to ask, on that very first one where you haven't met anyone yet, most people either, okay, I'm going to just go in quickly just to check it out. I'll fly there, or I'll travel by myself. What motivated you to take a camper with your family 2,000 kilometers to make this drive? Is that something that you do often? Like, is that part of your life? Like, what motivated you to do that drive?
Okay. Well, I think that the competitor that was inside me pushed me to try this experience. It was only because I want to, when I was young practitioner of Iaido, I think that there is something wrong in my idea of Iaido. If you think about the competition in Europe or in the normal sport, football, rugby, volleyball, or tennis, the most important thing is to win. Okay. If you win, you are the champion, you are best, everything was okay. In the martial arts, it's not so important. But for me, to try to win, it want to be the best. Okay. For me, if I win in the past, I make the best things that I can. This is the idea that pushed me to go to Brighton, because my teacher said me, if you are a very good practitioner, your Iaido is very good, so if you go, probably you win. So this pushed me to go to Brighton. And my family was with me because my daughter was, I think, 8 years old, so very, very young. And we, of course, was also holidays for us. So we spent 1 week to go, really 2 days to go and 1 week to go to come back because I want to go directly to Brighton, and was just a little holiday. But when I make the trip to go to Brighton, in my mind there was a really, really very big. I want to make goal. Okay, the goal was win. When I come back, my idea was completely different. My goal was I want to learn. It's completely only one competition made me change the idea. I think that the influence of my sport life before pushed me to go to Brighton. After that, probably something changed. Not immediately, not the year after, but during the year, something changed. I make 20 European Championship, sometimes win, sometimes lose. But the real important was I tried to do my best. I tried to do what I learned, what the sensei tried to teach me, and I really try to practice hard all the year for the appointment, but not only for the competition, also to show to my friends that my Iaido is growing. So this changed after Brighton. Brighton was only I want to go, I want to win, was my idea. After that, something start to change. So this is why I go to Brighton. It really.
I've heard that similar type of story before with professional athletes that when they focus only on the result, it's not happening. But when they focus on the process, then the results come. When did you feel like this change in your attitude, the focus on the practice, on gaining knowledge, when did you see that starting to work out in terms of results? When did you see that, oh, I was now winning because I was focusing on this more and it was legitimate?
I think that this change, there is not a moment, just a moment. There is a lot of what I see. During my European Championship, I can see many practitioners from Europe. And I see many times Andy Watson. Andy Watson was my enemy, friends for a lot of years. I was really friends with Andy. And I have to see thank you many times to Andy because I watch Andy of the best Iaidoka in Europe. So what made me change my idea was I watched Andy and said, I want to become Andy. So Andy was an example for me. Andy was really, for me, one of the best Iaidoka in Europe. So during the year, we, of course, I know many other people, Michael Simonini, Peter Roder, that is really good Iaidoka in Europe. But the first one was Andy. I remember that I see him the first time in Brighton. And for the first time I said, oh, wow, very good Iaidoka, very good level. So in the year I watched the competition of Andy, the shy of Andy, and I watched very carefully the Iaido of Andy, and I said, okay, I want to grow and I want to go at the same level of Andy. This is, I think, there is no a moment, but there is a people. Andy was really important in the change my attitude to Iaido.
Mm-hmm. So we talked about some attending this one big competition, and within competition, there's the actual interacting with people, and then there's the participating. Anything memorable in terms of these events where maybe you were at a dinner or something that you can speak about in those early days, something that still sticks with you?
There was a very kind kind event in Italy, in Bologna, 2004, maybe, and there was the European Championship in Italy. I remember that in the evening I go to the sayonara party. Sunday evening there was a sayonara party, and we have a dinner with the other people, European referee, the competitors, everybody, and the sensei. So I was really stupid, really stupid, and I tried to speak with Ishido Sensei with the help of Ata Sensei, that is a Japanese sensei that live in Italy, is 7 dan of Kendo and 6 dan of Jodo. And in this occasion, he helped us to translate from Japanese. And during the dinner, I tried to ask Ishido Sensei, Ishido Sensei, can I become your direct student? Was really big question and really stupid questions, I think. But Ishido Sensei was really kind. He smiled a little bit and speak some words in Japanese with Murata, very quiet. And after that, asked me, Zanoni, I can't have other student in Europe, so you can't become my direct student. But if you want to follow family or group, you can follow some of my students. Maybe you can, or some of the people that is in the group. So he said to me, I see that you practice with Renshi Sensei sometimes. So if you want to, you can follow Renshi Sensei. So from this moment, I become a student of Renshi Sensei. But was very, very funny that I make a question so directly to the sensei, but I was more young, more stupid. Probably now I don't repeat the mistake, but was really, now it's a smile for me. In that moment, after 5 minutes, I said, I'm really, really stupid man. So it's very, really fun.
Well, it seems like it didn't hurt your relationship with Iaido Sensei. You can continue seeing him and learning under him. Have you made it out to Japan to train with him before? And are there any experiences you can talk about going to Japan?
Yes, I continue to follow Iaido Sensei. At the moment, I follow the line of Iaido Sensei. I'm not student of Iaido Sensei, but of course, in relation with Iaido Sensei, they grow during the year. I think I'm really lucky because I can go to the dojo till this moment every year, 1 or 2 times a year. And of course, every time it's really enjoy to go to Japan. Practice in the Shido Dojo is one of the most exciting moments in my Buddha life. The first time was really impossible to describe because when I started the door of the dojo, my heart was really excited and pulse 1000 very really run. And I think it's really, really important for me to that I can go in Japan. When I asked to Iaido Sensei to come for a week or 10 days, it's every time is an experience that I understand how much we have to learn. Really, really. Oh, for we think that we know something, but when you go inside the dojo, you understand that you know only really a little part, but very, very small part of what the sensei can teach. So every year we come back with just we know that we have to learn many things. So every year we come back from Japan with little bit more experience, but with the concept of we know that we have to learn so many things that one life is not enough. For us, one life is not enough. This is what we think when we come back from Japan.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally get that. So you go to his dojo. Are there other places in Japan that you visit? Or are there things that you like to do when you're going there besides just the training?
Uh, it's a really difficult question because my wife is practice also with me, with us, is 7 dan Iaido, Daniel Bora. And every time that we go in Japan, she said me, okay, we go 10 days. How many days of practice? Well, probably 8 practice and 2 of tourism. So the place that we had visit is not too much, but not in reality, because for 6 years we are going to the Kyoto Taikai. So we go before in Kawasaki for practice, and after we will go in Kyoto for 3-4 days. So we spend 1 or 2 days visiting Kyoto, and after we participate to Kyoto Taikai. We also see other 2 places. One time when I do my Rokudan examination, was in Sapporo. So we stay in Kawasaki with the sensei 3 days, and after we leave from Kawasaki and we go to Sapporo with the sensei. So we have 2 days to spend in Sapporo. And the last time when I tried and I failed my Rokudan examination last year, in 2 years ago, 2000, 1 year, sorry, 1 year ago. And the exam was north of Japan. I don't remember the city, but of course we go with the sensei and we stay with the sensei. It was wonderful experience because we was together with Matsuoka Sensei, Kinomoto Sensei, Morishima Sensei. It was really, I was really disappointed with my fail. That I failed the exam, but I think was 3 days really completely wonderful. The sensei was really kind with me, tried to speak with me, to teach something. Was 3 days perfect and 5 minutes wrong, 6 minutes wrong, but 3 days perfect and 6 minutes. I don't know what happened, but only 6 minutes wrong. The rest of the not holiday, completely holiday, but the rest of the trip was really wonderful. So normally we go 1 week, and 1 week we practice 6 days. 1 day to go, 1 day to go back. We fly in the night normally, and we spend 1 day out of the dojo. But the rest of your trip is in the dojo all the day, and many times also in the evening.
I can imagine so many people also thinking, yeah, that would be the best type of holiday, is to just keep training. Interesting that so far you've mentioned a couple of very memorable events in your journey. One of them was a immediate loss in the first round of a taikai, and the other one was failing an exam. Could you maybe talk a little bit about, let's say someone else, the younger person's coming up now and they fail. What advice would you give them? Because it seems like this is important to you. What advice would you give to juniors when they want something so bad and then they fail it? How would you motivate them to continue?
Well, I think that if you change your mind in martial arts and you think that you practice martial arts to stay back with yourself, the results of the exam it's of course important, really important, because you have to practice, you have to study for to grow. But if you fail the exam, you have to make yourself some questions. The question I think has to be the most important question is I do enough, I practice enough to reach this goal. If the answer is yes, probably you are only to continue to practice. It's no problem if you don't pass the exam. If the answer is no, probably this year I was involved in my job, I have a new love or something. Probably you have to decide if your practice is so important. But the important things I think is, I remember one time Iaido Sensei in Dojo in Kawasaki said, everybody can be fifth dan. Everybody can be fifth dan. Someone can be Rokudan or Nanadan, but not everybody can be Achidan. Probably for the European people, it's true only till Godan. So everybody can reach the Godan goal if you practice enough. If you spend your time, you practice in dojo, in the seminar, in everything. But it's not right in nowhere that everybody can be Rokudan or Nanadan. So you have to practice because the practice can be enjoy with yourself, not for the results. If you practice only for the results, you arrive at a time that the results is not what do you expect. Okay, so I think that the most important things you practice Iaido, and sometimes with Danielle I have a dojo, of course, and my dojo for the Italy group is enough big. So last year we were 25 people that practiced Iaido. And of course, there was people that it's really good in Iaido and some people that is not so good in Iaido. It's normal. This is the life normal. And we have a student that he tried to make Rokudan for a lot of years. Unfortunately, probably his level is not so good. And he failed the exam, I think, 4 or 5 times. Last year, he decided to stop practice because it's too much pressure, too much everything. And I think that the problem is not the pressure, but the problem is that you don't like more the practice. You don't enjoy going to the dojo, to come in the dojo and practice with us. This is, for me, it's a really mistake that I make because I'm a leader of the dojo and I have to find the way to make understand that these people that the results is not really important. Of course, it's important, but not only the reason that you practice. So the young people in my student when I fail some exam, I explain him probably what was the problem, if he practiced enough, if everything. He tried to speak with them. And but the most important thing that I said every time is you have to enjoy practice, not enjoy the grade, not enjoy the winner of competition. You have to enjoy the practice. You have to enjoy the shy. I'm every time the shy was the same. Every time I was on the shy, for me it's a little bit excited and not important which enemy I have in the other Shaijo. What was really important is how I feel in that moment. So I enjoy to stay here in the Shaijo in that moment. But of course, the excited, the fear was I will be able to show my Iaido, my best Iaido, over pressure, because there is pressure when you make a shy, or there is a big pressure when you do an exam. And of course, it's not different from first Q or Nanadan. The pressure is every time, so you are over pressure. There is no difference when you explaining a Nanadan or on first Q that he failed the exam. What happened? What means fail an exam? Probably you don't are able to control your excited, your posture or something. Of course, it's more difficult for an anadan understands these things that the first Q. First Q is more simple to learn, to teach everything and to reach the goal. But the pressure is the same. The exam is every time you make the exam, there is a pressure over you. So you have first of things, you have to win this pressure, and you have to try to find your calm, your tranquility, your Iaido, and show your Iaido. So this is what I can say. I can talk about with my student when he failed the exam. Okay, and see, this is more or less what happened when I failed my Nanadan examination. It's the first exam that I failed. And when I come back in the dojo, I remember Monday evening, I was really, I don't understand. Of course, the sensei that was with me, they said the execution was good. So everybody said, don't understand. I don't know what you can change. So if I can speak about, I go to the dojo. It was a very, very, very wonderful gift from Ishido Sensei, because Sunday evening when we come back with the train, he speak with me and Danielle and say, tomorrow, what do you want to do? And we think about it, because Monday, after 1 week of training, okay, we relax and we leave Tuesday morning. But we are free. Okay, you come in the dojo and we practice together Koryu. So for us was a really wonderful gift from him. And we practiced all the day Koryu with Ishido Sensei. So I forget my exam immediately. But of course, inside me, there was some kind of question. Okay, I think it's normal. So in the evening, we come back to the dojo and I speak with the help of Aurelien, that is English guy that live in Kawasaki and practice with Ishido Sensei. And I said to Ishido Sensei, sorry for my mistake, for my fail, because of course in Japan, when I got for an exam, everybody, the Japan Sensei know that I follow Ishido Sensei. So my fail is a mistake. I don't want that there was some problem from Ishido Sensei. So I said, sorry, Sensei, I'm really sorry, because I don't know what mistake I do. And he said me, Zanoni, because he called me Zanoni, not Claudio. Zanoni-san, Zanoni, don't worry about it. There is no mistake. You don't pass the exam, but if you try one time more, it's no problem. You have the level, so you can pass the exam. This time you don't pass, you pass next time. Don't worry about it. So this is what the sensei said me Monday evening after my exam for Nanadan. And this is the way. So I don't pass the exam this time. I try next time. I try to practice more and more and grow my level and grow my practice and grow deeper in practice and show deeper in practice. This is only the way is this one for me. And this is what I say to my students when they fail the exam.
Such valuable advice and a great story around being able to train with Iaido Sensei and a whole day afterwards. That is a gift for you, definitely.
Yes.
One thing I've found, and I heard from, I think, a successful business person who's saying that in any endeavor, you need a plus, a minus, and a equal. Someone that's senior to you, someone that's junior to you, and someone that's equal on your level to continue to help you improve to the next level. When you think about yourself, who might be someone that's a senior that helps, that pushes you, a peer that pushes you, and a junior that pushes you? Or you can name multiple people.
Okay, I start with the younger people because in Europe there is really a lot of younger people that push me, but not only me, many people that have my level. If you think we are lucky because when we go to the European Championship, we can see the best judoka from all the country of the Europe. So in the last championship, I think there was 24 country, more or less. So you can imagine that there is a lot of people. In 24 countries, there is really good Iaidoka. I think about Bervac from Belgium or some Persinomi, Machura from Poland, Valdestal from Sweden. It's really, I think sometimes I think I'm very lucky because if I compete with them, probably I lose my shy. It is really, I think really lucky because when you watch the Iaido that these people, you think, okay, if I want to stay at the level and continues to learn, also to teach the new generation, you have to grow your Iaido. You have to grow absolutely your level of Iaido because they are very close to you. And sometimes in the practice, probably are best of you. So this is really a very good push from the lower grade. The same level, I think I have to speak about Andy Watson enough. And I think it's one of the most people guy that push me to grow and continues to push me to grow. Unfortunately, the COVID situation don't permit many seminars, many things that we have closed. The seminar last year in February, and we do the woman seminar in Brussels with Kinomoto Sensei. And we was organized one seminar with Andy in July in Italy. Unfortunately, the situation is not good. We do the seminar, but Andy can come for the seminar. Andy was one of the Iaidoka in Europe that to getting better, to learn. But not only Andy. There was a lot of good friends in Europe that every time in some way push me to learn and continues to push me. I think to Peter Roder, big man, big friends, very big guy, and very big friends from Germany. Michael Simonini from Belgium, that I know from 2000. The first match with Michael happened in 2000 in Sittard. But also Yuki Kanto, that I meet many times in Europe seminar and competition. Harry Jones, there is a lot of European people that push me. Unfortunately, I don't have the opportunity to practice with some Japanese people, but I see the video, I see something. There is many really good Iaidoka. I think it's Takeda, that is from Kanazawa, is a student of Furuichi Sensei. And another very good doka that every year we meet in Tokyo is a student of Morita Sensei that organized the Kyoto Taikai. Is Bruyere. His name is American, but it's Japanese. And if you see him in the Kyoto Taikai, you say, wow, really wow. And it is 7 dan also this year, I think in June. I don't remember. He passed the exam of 7 dan, but his Iaido is really impressive. It's really good. And every year I see him in the Kyoto Taikai, and I see and say, oh, wow, it's really good Iaidoka. The senpai, it's it's difficult. There is a lot of teacher. really a lot of teachers in Europe that push every time my students sometimes to grow. The first one is, of course, is Renshi Sensei. That is my teacher. He is my sensei. And we have, I think, 16 years of 16 or 18, I don't remember, year of stay together. And I follow him very, very close. I'm a student, he is a teacher, he is a sensei. So we are very good friends. We spend sometimes also all friends, not only teacher and student. And of course, is one of the people that helped me to grow in Iaido and to give my Nanadan. And of course, there is other people because when we do the seminar in Europe, every teacher try to help me and help us in our ground. We can't speak about the Japan. Okay, so if you think that the best gift when I stay in Japan is the practice with the sensei, but in the Monday evening, Morishima Sensei comes to the dojo, and when you watch the kata of Morishima Sensei, or Morishima Sensei try to teach something to me, every time says very Christmas gift. I have a Christmas gift every Monday that I spend in Japan. So I think really, really important, not senpai, but sensei. Of course, it's not my direct sensei, but I think I spend so many times with Morishima Sensei when I stay in Japan or when he comes. Unfortunately, he only comes 2 times in Europe, but every time that he comes, I follow, I try to learn something, sometimes directly and sometimes only watching. And I think it's really important.
So we've talked about yourself as a practitioner of Iaido, and these are people that push you to enhance your practice. And then also as a teacher, how you would help your students. What about as an organizational leader or administrator? Are there responsibilities that you've taken on recently? And how are you looking at these responsibilities of organizing people or doing things during COVID?
Yes, I'm leader of my dojo, Turin, and with Daniel Borra, and we teach together in the dojo. But also I have a big job in Italy because in September, the CIC, Confederation Italian Kendo, appointed me the responsibility. I am Italian technical director for the Iaido sector. So there is a lot of work, of course, in dojo, because last year we was 25 people and we try to grow these people. So we have a completely range of dan. So I have some first queue, we have fifth dan. Fifth dan that next year they try to do Rokudan. So we are really completely people that have every grade. And this moment is really, really strange from March of last year. And we are practice sometimes, and sometimes the dojo is closed for the COVID problem. So we start to teach, of course, with the new technology. So Zoom, we make a normal lesson with Zoom 2 times a week for my dojo. But for the Italian people, that the situation in Italy was more or less the same. So every region in Italy in this moment can go in the dojo. So to do some help to the people, we organized some webinar for the moment. And the webinar was directed to the instructors that try to reach some information about the Iaido, of course. We do a mix of technical and practice seminar, of course, online. Some people practice with us and some people only watching and try to learn something. Was really important, I think, that from September we try to put together the sector of Iaido is divided in 3 parts. One part is the development, the second part was the competition, so the the Italian team competition, and the third part was the referee. So we have 3 commissions, but we try to put all the 3 commissions together and try to work together. So we try to give the Italian people some message that we have to stay together and we have to work together. Also in this moment, it is really a strange moment for the martial arts. We said at the start of the interview that I think was the practice of Iaido was alone. But really, and now I understand it's not alone, but it's for the people, with the people. So it's really important to give this message to the other people. They don't are alone. They are part of group, part of, I hope that I can call him family. So one family that practice together. This is what my new job in Italian commission committee for development Iaido. And also in dojo, I want that my student, many times I speak with my students, said you have to stay comfortable when you are in dojo. You have to close out of the dojo your problem, the problem in the life. Everybody has a problem in the normal life, job, love, or something. But when you go inside the dojo, the problem will be out of the dojo. So in dojo, enjoy the practice, enjoy the friends, enjoy the family. It's really family.
That's a big job, and I'm sure you'll be successful in it, because hearing how much of a passion you have for it, how much it's given you, I can see that you'll give just as much back, if not more. Do you have 5 more minutes? I know we're at the end of time. I just want to cover a couple of the quick rapid fire questions just so people can get to know you from a different way. Let's start with, are you a dog person or a cat person?
I'm a dog person. I think I'm a dog person. There is an example. I have 2 dogs, 2 Akita dogs, of course. I study Japanese martial arts, so my dog is Japanese, and a male and female. And the female is more or less similar to me. It's really kind, but when she wants. If she don't want, is not affect. She don't like the contact. She don't like many things. But she is very wolf leader. It's really in our family. Many times she start to protect, or when we go walk in the mountain or something. So I'm a little bit similar to my dog, and I'm little bit. My wife call me the bear, because I'm not so friendly with the people. Probably it's part of my life, but at the right moment, I'm able to be a leader and a protector for my family. My family is my family in the house, or my family in budo life. So I think dog.
If we were to open up your YouTube account, what type of videos would that thing recommend to you? What are things you see?
I think if you open my YouTube, you can find only Iaido and dogs. You can find only, if you open my Facebook page, it's the same. You find many times very good video of Iaido, but most of time very good landscape for the mountain of snow and the dog. So recommended, very relaxing video, some very good video of Iaido, and some very good video landscape where you can enjoy the nature and enjoy your life.
What would you consider as your comfort food? So it's maybe your birthday, or maybe you're feeling a little depressed or sad and you just want something to pick you up, to make you happy, that you put in your mouth and it makes you smile. What is that food?
Well, I'm Italian, so pasta is the best food for us. But really, the food that really make me happy is takoyaki. I think takoyaki, when I eat takoyaki, I'm the best happy man in the world.
What about takoyaki on top of pasta or on top of pizza?
Takoyaki.
By itself. Okay. This was great. I really enjoyed this conversation. Thank you so much for taking the time and for making it through.
You are very kind.
So to wrap this up, do you have any closing words you want to say to the audience? Any message you want to send out to people that do Iaido, but also other types of martial arts, maybe?
But what I can say is, I speak about the family budo, and I think that the budo, we are a family, and there is what really important is to stay together and try to exchange the experience. So thank you everybody to help me but from the Q till Achidan, everybody, every time that we meet, we stay together, we practice together. Every time someone helped me. So thank you very much, everybody. Stay together, and in this moment, stay safe and together.
Thank you so much. All right.
Thank you very much. Sorry, but I tried to do my best with my English. Okay?
No, that was amazing. I hope to meet you in person sometime, and then we can continue this.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao.
Hey guys, I hope you enjoyed that episode because we have a lot more exciting conversations to share as we explore the world of the traditional Japanese martial arts. The Inside Look podcast is available on most common podcasting platforms and on YouTube. Remember to subscribe to not miss out on new interviews as they are posted. We're always looking for feedback to improve, so please write us a review or drop us a line at podcast@tokushikai.ca or on Facebook and Instagram at tokushikai.canada. Until next time, thanks for listening.